Welcome into Jags A.M., our 12th practice day. We're getting things ready. We're getting things geared up for the first preseason game of the year. We don't know who'll be playing just yet, but I, for one, am very excited to see some real football. Kainani Stevens here, Brian Sexton, John Oesher with me. We are live outside at Jaguars training camp from the Miller Electric Center. Either I'm dead inside or it's gotten a little bit cooler. It's not deadly hot. It could just be I don't know what day it is anymore, and I don't know what the temperature is.
We're comparing notes because I am dead inside.
Okay.
So
when they opened the door, there was a wall of humidity that hit us, but it doesn't feel so bad
Guys,
right now.
I'm being optimistic, okay?
All right.
It's not 100, so it's a win, is
Pretty
how
good.
I'm describing
For
it.
training camp in Jacksonville, Florida, this is a win.
Absolutely. We're kind of in the dog days of it now, but we got a preseason game to talk about, so that's exciting. And also, I feel like we've seen some progress in certain areas I want to talk about. Let's start out with big thing number one, which is in command. Trevor Lawrence looked great yesterday. We saw him in the scrimmage, operating really well with this new offense. And we've talked about how he feels more comfortable out there. Grant Udinski talked to us yesterday, and he talked a little bit about giving Trevor leniency, specifically if he makes a mistake, throws an interception, to kind of move on from that.
It's the same mindset and approach with every snap, but giving them the comfort and confidence to move on from a throw like that, to progress differently and to learn from that mistake. I think with reps and times, he sees it, he recognizes the mistake, and he'll improve.
That's in reference to interception he threw in scrimmage on Friday. Brian, nothing against the pass coaching staff. I don't think anybody was particularly hard on Trevor, but I feel like they've given him an ownership in this offense to where his demeanor is a bit different, and we've seen his command of the offense. It's his now.
It is, and the word that I want to use with him is resilience, right? We talked about this team last year, John, not being a really resilient team. They didn't respond in the fourth quarter in close games. But Trevor, after a admittedly underwhelming practice the day before, came out yesterday and owned it. And he made a beautiful throw on the one-handed catch to Brenton Strange. And then, the run to the right in the goal line where it was a risky throw, but he put the ball on a dime to De'Ami Brown. And I walked away thinking Trevor's taken a big step forward.
Yeah, and look, he didn't have a great practice on Monday, but you don't have great practices every day. I don't anticipate having a very good show today, but you guys will pick me up, right?
We're here for you, John.
I'll come back tomorrow and be a lot better. What you look for from him during training camp is steady growth, and it's not going to be like this. It's going to be, and he had a day like this, and then he came back. Somebody asked me why I thought that was, because he's human, right? So in the last 4 or 5 days, and Brian and Kai, I think you feel this as well, you've seen solid stuff from him. You feel like overall this is a guy who's comfortable in what he's doing. He knows what they're asking of him. He's still working through the footwork stuff, but that's to be expected. He's learning a new language, and he's trying to speak that language consistently all the time now. I'm more optimistic about him than I have been since Cincinnati in 23 when it all started going south. I feel like he's back on track.
I would agree, and since you talked about footwork, Kai, I think the word with him is traction. It feels like he's getting traction with the offense and for what Liam's expectations are for him as the leader of this team. I feel like he's rising to the occasion.
Yes, and when you talk about resiliency, I think just in contrast to what we felt last year and just being around the team, felt like you were waiting for the pin to drop at every point, for something to go wrong, and it doesn't feel that way. Obviously, we're going to get to games soon, so we'll see how it goes, but it doesn't feel like they're waiting for the other shoe to drop anymore. It feels like they're in control of their own destiny, which is a good place to be. Let's talk about one of the weapons Trevor's been throwing to. Our second big thing today, going to be high flying. We talked a little bit about the wide receiver group yesterday, but Parker Washington has had a great training camp so far, had one of his best days in practice yesterday. Grant Udinski, offensive coordinator, talked a little bit about it.
When you see a guy who can win consistently against man coverage and match coverage, tight coverage like that, make plays on the ball, attack the ball with his hands, those are encouraging for the play caller. They give you comfort to give him isolation routes and put him in different spots, just like we talk about De'Ami's ability to line up in different spots. It allows you to trust Parker to be at different spots on the field. A guy goes down here, he can plug and place at different spots and go and execute a wide route tree.
John, during training camp, I feel like there's some days where maybe you don't see a certain player, they don't really jump out to you. It feels like Parker's doing something every day where you notice.
Yeah, and look, I'm not going to say the whole roster's there yet because you wouldn't expect it to be in a regime change. Parker Washington, third year, looking like this is what good franchises have all over the roster.
Yes.
He's a 6th-round draft pick who in his third year now is showing you that if there's a problem somewhere at receiver, he can step in and they're not lost. He shouldn't have been the number 2 guy last year. You feel great with him as a number 4, and you feel like when he gets in, there's no drop-off. There is real depth at wide receiver on this team. I'm not sure how many other places there are, but that's an example of where you've got to get, Brian.
They still have to go do it on the field, right? But if they're right about De'Ami Brown and Travis Hunter, we believe they are, Parker Washington is the guy who makes this the deepest I've ever seen this wide receiver room. I mean, even going back to Jimmy and Keenan, they struggled to find a 3. Now they may have a 4. And think about the flexibility, John, that gives Liam Cohen and Grant Udinski to be able to create mismatches and to attack a defense. It's going to be tough enough to cover Travis Hunter in the slot. Now what are you going to do with Parker Washington? I mean, yeah, it really is. He's right. This is the mark of a franchise that's on the right track.
It's exciting also when we talked a little bit about wide receiver 5, who that might be. Travis Etienne is going to be a big part of this pass game as well, as we've seen the usage so far in training camp, so that's exciting as well. Don't want to forget our final big thing, game prep. We've got a preseason game on Saturday. We'll talk more in depth about the Steelers coming to town. We do not know if the starters will play, how long they will play, what it's going to be, but we do know this will be the first NFL head coaching game for Liam Cohen as head coach. Brian, what can we expect? We're going to learn a lot stylistically about how he's going to coach?
I don't know. I just get the sense, Kai and John, that we're not going to see a whole lot. He's got the advantage of not being in a position where he has to show much. I think we're going to see a lot of the basics of what he expects, how he expects effort and intensity and guys to play. He talked earlier this week about not needing to play his starters too much, but then having the experience in Tampa of getting some quality reps. I don't know whether he's going to play him too much, but I think we're going to see some very basic things, but he's going to talk about effort, intensity, and hustle and things like that.
I think he'll learn more about what a head coach goes through on game day than we'll learn about him, because I don't think he'll show very much what he's going to do in the regular season, the preseason. I anticipate, it's just my gut, I think he'll play starters tomorrow. As this team gets more as these guys have played in systems before, I don't know if he'll do that moving forward next year, but I've just got to believe that he's going to want these guys to feel game day together before week 1. And that's just me guessing. He has not pulled me aside and told me that.
No, I think about the fundamentals, right, of what he expects his team and how he expects them to play.
Right, and I think with so many new faces, new system in place, it'd be nice to see him out there at least for a little bit.
Yes.
It would be. All right, stay with us. We're going to talk about the game against the Steelers coming up and also do a deep dive into the tight end room, tell you who's in there after the break.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Finally, inventories and prices are customer friendly.
That's because summer's here, so let's keep it real at the Field Summer Sales Event.
We have vehicles on the ground and ready to go. All new makes and models to choose from, even electric cars and SUVs. Stop searching for your next luxury vehicle and see Fields first.
And get an incredible offer like this.
Right now, save up to $10,000 on remaining new 2024 Porsche models in stock at Porsche Jacksonville. Go to PorscheJacksonville.com.
Champions are built from the support and encouragement they get from the team around them. No one knows that better than Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr.
As one of the nation's largest pediatric health systems, Nemours Children's Health gives hope to future champions every day to go well beyond their limits. Together, we can redefine children's health. We are Nemours Children's Health.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudeth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudeth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudeth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jax. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudeth is helping you on moving day. Visit Sudeth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Chelsea here from Renewal by Andersen. You've seen and heard our ads where I talk about Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrix material being twice as strong as vinyl, incredibly energy efficient, and custom built to fit your home perfectly. But if you haven't reached out yet, now's the time. August only. Renewal by Andersen is offering triple savings. $300 off every window, $825 off every patio door, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today at bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Jags A.M. brought to you by Fields Auto Group. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com.
Honestly, from a playing aspect, I don't think it's much different because obviously Evan was down last year for a lot of games, so I had to take on that role. But it was different. I was in and out of it, So, and when you're in and out of it, obviously the reps are different, the roles are different. What you're going to be asked to do in the game plan is different. So that changed week to week, in which it kind of messed with me a little bit last year, just trying to understand and feel my way and trying to always prepare. But I think something that I've done good ever since I've honestly been in college and that my college coaches taught me was to always prepare like you're going to be the starter. And I think that paid off for me last year. And no matter if I was a starter or whatever it was last year, that's how I always prepared.
Brenton Strange entering year 3 for him. Obviously, we're going to talk about the tight ends right now. He's probably one of the only ones you're going to remember from last season because they really overhauled that room other than the coach and Brenton Strange right there. But entering his 3rd year, we saw him in flashes, as he mentioned. Obviously, Evan Ingram was a favorite for Trevor Lawrence, but Evan Ingram dealing with some injuries last year. So we saw a decent amount of Brenton Strange, and he certainly has the ability, but he's excited to kind of know that is his role in the offense going in this year.
He made a big catch yesterday on that one-handed grab, and it made me wonder, John, how good can he be, right? I mean, he doesn't look like a Travis Kelce, Greg Kittle kind of guy, but yet I thought of Dallas Goedert, a guy who's going to catch 55, 60 balls, 6, 7 touchdowns, and be a differentiator in the offense because he's going to attack the middle and force a defense to adjust. He looks like he can be that kind of impactful player.
Yeah, I think what you said hits it on the head. Bare minimum, he's going to matter, meaning bare minimum defense coordinators can't ignore him. I think bare minimum, he's going to be good. We saw last year, I think he had 40 catches. I think it was about 400 yards, if I'm remembering right. I think he can up that. I think their room is pretty good around him. At the very least, he's going to be a high-level blocker. Whatever he gives you as a receiver beyond that 40 mark, I think is gravy, because I don't think they necessarily need him to be the productive pass catcher that Evan Ingram was, because they've got so much more on the outside now. So if he can complement that and scare defenses in the interior, I think he's a big part of what they're going to do.
The other thing about him is because we kind of got to know him a little bit off mic, off camera, he's real serious about football. I mean, really serious about football. And that approach is exactly what they're trying to build around here.
Absolutely. I think he's excited about every aspect of playing a tight end. Sometimes you talk to the tight ends and they want to be a wide receiver, right? They're not as much into the blocking. You get the feeling from him, he's just excited to lay somebody out and do run blocking as he is as catching a football.
Yeah, they want to run better around here. And, I don't want to see him get hurt if they're going to attain that goal. I think he's really important for that.
Let's take a look at this group, because a lot of these names are new. So some experience brought in, obviously Hunter Long and Johnny Munt, both in LA at one point. So James Gladstone kind of knew them that way in free agency, bringing those guys in. And also some other names. Quincy Morris, Patrick Herbert, Justin Herbert's little brother. He's a rookie this year. He's on the roster as well. John Copenhaver. We don't really know how this room's going to shake out, whether they'll carry 3 or 4, what that's going to be exactly, but there is some experience there. Brenton Strange talked about it. He says, yeah, I'm the one that's been here, but some of these guys have been in the league for a lot longer than me, and they can bring in that experience and help me out in that way as well. So it's certainly not him trying to tell them what to do.
The Hunter Long and the Johnny Munt strike me as dependable options. Not just because they understand they've been in the system, but there are guys who've had some modest success. 30 catches, a couple hundred yards. They know the role, they understand the offense, and they're going to be key pieces in packages.
Yeah, I've gotten questions, people concerned about their tight end room. Are they going to sign more guys? I think those questions come from people who haven't heard of the tight ends. And my question is, unless you play fantasy football, how many tight ends after Kelsey and Kittle have people heard of? And I'm exaggerating that, but the point is, these two guys are really consistent. And if you've watched practice, when Hunter Long's healthy, he can contribute in his passing game. I'm not saying he's going to catch 100 yards worth of balls, but the other day he caught a 45-yard pass, and it didn't look like a fluke. So they like their tight end room, I think, a lot more than people might think when you just glance at the names and start looking for Pro Bowlers. And they love Brenton Strange. I mean, he's a guy, if you've watched our stuff, you realize they think of him as a potential core guy.
If you haven't watched him, and if he plays in the preseason, just watch the effort. Watch the way he finishes a play. That's what really stands out about him. We talked about how serious he is about football. He's really serious about being a complete tight end. And in an era where there's more receiving tight ends necessarily than the complete tight end, Brenton Strange really stands out in the way that he plays the game with effort and intensity.
And Kai, Munt and Long knowing the offense is really key for why they're here. It's harder for a tight end to learn an offense than the other two positions, meaning line or wide receiver, because you've kind of got to know everything. Big reason that they're positives is that they have such experience in this scheme.
Yeah, Grant Udinski talked a little bit yesterday about Johnny Munt. He was with him in Minnesota, brought him down here. That's going to be part of this, but he talked a little bit about how helpful it is to have someone that already knows where they need to be in the system.
Really could be more than that because of that flexibility, because he can block so many different run schemes in the run game. He can line up in line. He can line up as a wing. He can be going back across the formation when he's off the ball. He can be in motion. He can run a pretty wide route tree. So that versatility is hard to guard because you can be an 11 personnel, 12 personnel, and he can be doing such a variety of different things.
Versatility, obviously the word of the day when it comes to the tight end position, but these guys really do have to do a little bit of everything, and it's going to be different than we've seen in the past. Obviously the way Doug Peterson used tight ends is going to be different than the way Liam Cohen uses tight ends, but it is nice to know that they have the options with them.
Yeah, they don't want them to be receivers necessarily. And in Doug's offense, Evan Ingram played wide receiver. Let's face it. That's not what they're looking for these guys to do.
They're chess pieces on the board. You're not going to see them on the field all the time. But when they are, it's going to be a very specific package that they've got where they want the tight end. So John, you talked about the roster depth a little while ago when we were talking about wide receivers. The thing that I like about this is that they're completely confident that they've got guys that fit what they want to do and allow them to open up the entire playbook. So many times over the last number of years, you just knew the Jaguars didn't have enough of those pieces on the board, and it really limited. Defenses could step up and challenge and take away your best players. For the first time in a while, I don't feel like they're going to be able to do that here.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the games haven't started yet, but it just feels like a lot of the free agents we talked about and didn't talk about a whole lot are going to matter a great deal. It feels like they did a nice job. All regimes try to do this. So far, Brown, Jordan Lewis, Munt, these guys, feels like they've done a nice job of fitting pieces that they want that they haven't been able to draft because they weren't here, but guys that you normally would have drafted. So we'll see.
One more soundbite from Brenton Strange, who talked a little bit yesterday about now that he kind of knows his role in the offense, he's working on building that trust up with Trevor Lawrence.
I think that each day I'm coming out here and just trying to earn Trevor's trust more and more, because that's a big part of it, He's had a relationship with obviously like BT was there for him all last year, and then like I said, I was in and out of games last year, so I wasn't always the guy that he was throwing the balls to or whatever it was. So I think that that's a big thing for me, is just coming out here and just not only proving to Trevor, but proving to the coaches and proving to my teammates as well that I can be a reliable playmaker for this team.
Brian, we've seen in the past, Trevor Lawrence likes to throw to the people he likes to throw to. He's going to have a lot of them are gone, so he's going to have to make new favorites. But a lot of them working towards that.
Kai Brenton was a rookie in 2023 when he watched Evan Ingram catch 114 passes, the second most by a tight end in a single season in league history. He knows that this quarterback likes that position, and when he says earn his trust, I mean, he's going to be in the right spot on every play, and that's going to give Trevor the chance to build the same relationship he had with Evan Ingram. It might not be 114 catching. It almost certainly won't, because Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter and De'Ami Brown and even Parker Washington. But, man, if it's 55 and they're the right ones on 3rd down and 7, he's got a chance to be Evan Ingram-like in terms of his dependability.
Yeah, if Brenton Strange catches 114, something's gone horribly awry.
Yeah.
But I do think Strange has probably practiced more with Trevor than he's played. And it certainly looks to me out here like Trevor is confident in the 4 wide receivers, meaning Parker Washington as well. But it feels to me like he doesn't hesitate to go to Strange, and then he trusts him and he likes him. And I think that's important.
It's nice to establish at this point in training camp, so when the games happen, we'll have that trust there as well. Stay with us. We're going to talk a little bit about preseason game number 1 against the Steelers coming up on Saturday.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Finally, inventories and prices are customer friendly.
That's because summer's here, so let's keep it real at the Field Summer Sales Event.
New inventory is arriving daily. All new makes and models to choose from, even electric cars and SUVs.
Visit Fields today and find the fit for you.
And get an incredible offer like this.
For a limited time, get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months on a new 2024 all-electric Cadillac Lyriq at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville or Fields Cadillac St. Augustine.
Champions are built from the support and encouragement they get from the team around them. No one knows that better than Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr.
As one of the nation's largest pediatric health systems, Nemours Children's Health gives hope to future champions every day to go well beyond their limits. Together, we can redefine children's health. We are Nemours Children's Health.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudeth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudeth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudeth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jags. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudeth is helping you on moving day. Visit sudeth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Plumbing problems, AC not blowing, septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We handle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning all under one roof. That's one call, one company, and one bill that won't give you a heart attack. For fast, reliable, and slightly ducky service, call 904-862-6769 or waddle over to duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Right Now Power Sports is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars football fires up your Sundays, and a Yamaha boat or wave runner brings on-the-water thrills to get you through the other 6 days of the week. Check out the extensive Yamaha watercraft selection that must go at the Right Now Power Sports Beach Boulevard and Jacksonville locations. Their prices will not be beat. You and the Jaguars can both win this season. Just mention Jaguars at the time of your purchase. Online at ridenow.com.
Floridians, do you know how close you are to freshness? It's not a plane or a ship ride away. It's not across an ocean or over the equator. It's not even a far drive. The peak of freshness is at your grocery store, and it's called Fresh from Florida. Fresh from Florida is local produce grown by farmers right here in our own state, meaning it's always fresh, always in season, and always mouth-wateringly good. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name where you shop.
Sudeth Moving and Storage is Florida's most trusted and dependable moving company. Sudeth's proud to be the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Get a guaranteed quote. Visit sudeth.com/Jacksonville. Welcome back to Jags A.M. Sutta sponsoring our preview of the first preseason game of the year against the Steelers and going up against Mike Tomlin. Yes, it's the preseason, but you can always learn a little bit something from a guy that's been doing it that long. Head coach Liam Cohen said earlier this week he called Tomlin kind of see what his plans were for the game. We'll find out whatever that is on Saturday, but have to imagine that's a good resource to have.
Oh, without a doubt. He's done it for a very long time and at a very high level, obviously, never having a losing season in, 18 years. I'm really interested, John, because these Steelers have taken a dramatic departure from what the Steelers have always been. They're not a free agent team. They're a team that drafts and develops, and yet they went out and they signed Aaron Rodgers, and they trade for DK Metcalf, and they trade for Jalen Ramsey. And, I mean, these are things that the Steelers long resisted. It was not part of their DNA or their personality. And it feels like they are rolling the dice in a completely new era.
I haven't talked to him in a while, Brian, but I imagine our friend Vic has thoughts.
Many of which would not be suitable for this show.
Yeah, it's absolutely. They were for years, really them along with the Ravens, but the Steelers, since I started covering the league, have always been that team of we're going to do what we do, we're going to draft and develop. This feels like a Steelers team that is reaching into free agency, really departing from their past. I'm sure fans like it because fans love that. I think old Steeler fans probably are a little uncomfortable with it. So we'll see how it works for them. They've done that in the past and always gone back to what they were. But they will be one of the teams to watch because when Aaron Rodgers is on your team these days, Pat McAfee talks about you.
Well, you get the sense that they went this route with Ramsey and DK and all of those guys because they made the mistake at the quarterback position. A couple of years ago, they drafted the kid out of Pitt, who last year was in Philly and now is in Cleveland. They were hoping to find their next quarterback after Ben Roethlisberger, and they missed. And so they had to do something about quarterback, and this was their best option. So if you're going to bring in Aaron Rodgers, well, you've got to bring in other guys around him. You're putting it all on today. For a team that was 10-7 last year, although it didn't necessarily feel like a 10-7 team.
It's a push your chips in year.
Yeah.
And the Steelers don't usually push chips in like that. They usually go like the Ravens do, which is long term. So we'll see what happens with it.
I am very intrigued by this because I feel like there's a lot of personality, Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Ramsey alone. But Mike Tomlin's notoriously been able to wrangle that into something in the past. Antonio Brown, what he was dealing with last year as well, some of his other wide receivers. If there's anyone that can do it, it's Mike Tomlin, but I am curious to kind of see how this plays out.
Which personality would you rather deal with? Aaron Rodgers, who last year proved to be more mercurial than we knew, or Jalen Ramsey, who we know?
You guys know Jalen. I think Jalen, right?
I'd rather – I don't know. You're a big Jalen guy.
I think what's interesting is
it's a big challenge.
If anybody can handle those guys, Tomlin can. I have great respect for Mike Tomlin. He's usually handled Antonio Brown and that cast younger in their careers.
Yes.
Jalen and Aaron are old enough to tune people out. I don't know if they will tune people out, but they're old enough to do it. Jalen has tuned people out before. So, look, it's going to be absolutely fascinating. And again, to hit the theme, there's many teams that are fascinating like this. It's weird to see the Steelers label on this sort of fascination.
I'm interested in how Jalen reacts to being in Pittsburgh. That's a place when you go in there, you are part of the Steelers.
Right.
You're not necessarily even though Antonio Brown was sort of that way. I wonder if it impacts him because of where he's at in his career. I mean, he's at that point now where he's getting towards the end, and his legacy is not as defined as a player of his abilities should be. Well, he's moved around a lot, and he's done it to himself.
And it's interesting because there are franchises where he's gone to that he's had a chance going in to be a legacy corner.
Yeah.
He'll never be the legacy corner in Pittsburgh. There's two guys that will always be considered better. So I don't know if that matters, but if you're looking at it from his perspective, Mel Blount, Rod Woodson, in that organization, those kind of names still permeate. So will he fit into that tradition? I don't know.
If he wants to, if he's willing to be humble to a point, I know that sounds so weird to say about Jalen Ramsey. Listen, but if he wants to be, he can take a great step forward.
No doubt.
with his reputation. And listen, he's a guy with Hall of Fame talent. At some point, you've got to have somebody behind you, we know this, that pops up and starts talking about you in those meetings, that's willing to advocate for you. I don't know who it is right now. Maybe someone in Pittsburgh can grab that if he goes in and is part of a team that does something special.
Pittsburgh is similar to New England in a way where sometimes they get those later in their career free agents. But if you go in with effort, they will fully take you in open arms for sure. And that, as you're mentioning, Hall of Fame, you're looking back at like that, you definitely need that support. All right, so coming back, we'll do our final word after the break here on Jags A.M.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Finally, inventories and prices are customer friendly.
That's because summer's here, so let's keep it real at the Field Summer Sales Event.
New inventory is arriving daily. All new makes and models to choose from, even electric cars and SUVs.
Visit Fields today and find the fit for you.
And get an incredible offer like this.
Right now, lease the new 2025 all-electric Cadillac Optiq for only $429 a month at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville or Fields Cadillac St. Augustine.
Champions are built from the support and encouragement they get from the team around them. No one knows that better than Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr.
As one of the nation's largest pediatric health systems, Nemours Children's Health gives hope to future champions every day to go well beyond their limits. Together, we can redefine children's health. We are Nemours Children's Health.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Chelsea here from Renewal by Andersen. You've seen and heard our ads where I talk about Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrix material being twice as strong as vinyl, incredibly energy efficient, and custom built to fit your home perfectly. But if you haven't reached out yet, now's the time. August only. Renewal by Andersen is offering triple savings. $300 off every window, $825 off every patio door, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today at bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
What's the best part about lawn care during the winter? You can give it a rest. Lawns only need watering up to once a week. Really, that's it. Using less water means you're saving time and money that you can put towards something else. Before you run your sprinklers, remember, give it a rest and only water up to once a week. For more information, visit waterlessflorida.com.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. ZipChair is furniture for fans. And Saturday's preseason game against the Steelers is brought to you by Wolfson Children's, the official children's hospital of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Our first game of the season. It's preseason. I don't care. I'm excited to see real football. What are you excited to see, Brian? We don't know who we're going to see, but what do you want to see?
I want to see the fundamentals. I want to see what's important to the coach. I mean, he's been talking about fast, right? Fundamentally sound, attacking, smart, tough. Those are the things that I expect that we will see Liam Cohen emphasizing, hear him emphasizing in the postgame, and I'd like to see a team that plays that way. This is a team that sort of limped to the end of last season, and it all feels new and different. In fact, John, I said to someone this morning, watching them go through their walkthrough here in front of us inside, that this team has the posture, the confidence of a team that was 9-8 last year, not 4-13. I'd like to see that on Saturday night.
Yeah, if the starters play, you'd like to see the offense have a couple of series where they get a few first downs, maybe get a touchdown, come off the field feeling good about what they've been, sort of like you felt about after the scrimmage the other night. So you'd also like to see 4 or 5 of the guys we've been talking about, like maybe a Cephas, a Quint Allen, somebody like that, sort of step up and show, okay, we're going from camp storyline to a guy who can maybe contribute during the regular season. I think the Quint Allen, for fans who are watching, 7th round running back, somebody to really watch during the preseason.
All the running backs, I think, are someone to keep an eye on. I'm excited about the offensive line, the offense, defense. We're going to do all of it.
Real football.
Real football. Yeah. Jags A.M. is back with you 3 days a week starting next week, so we will be back on Monday, and we will recap that first preseason game of the year from Saturday, so enjoy your weekend.